This is Al with ZZP, and I'm here to answer the questions we got for Instagram and Facebook. Starting it off, are you ready to get gapped at Gingerman? You know, I've never ran on the road course, so we don't really know what's going to happen. I might be gapping you. What made you want to get into the tuning aspect of cars, and how did you get your reputation with the LSJ? I just bought my car because I wanted a fun daily driver. There was no one around me that tuned those cars, so I decided that it didn't look too hard and I could just do it myself. And spent several years playing around with my own car before I started tuning other people. And even at that point, it was just trying to help out some friends. I wasn't trying to start a business out of it. As far as the reputation goes, I tried to always be responsible and reasonable with it. There's a lot of customers that, not for lack of trying, but they don't really understand what they're asking sometimes. You hear people joke about customers just saying, I want more, I want more, I want more, I don't care if it blows up, just do more. There's a certain level of responsibility you have as a tuner to know when to tell them is enough is enough. Do you have a favorite Canadian? If yes, who is it? I really do, and that's John Powell. I mean, he's the OG of the Redline community. I've learned so much from hours and hours spent on the phone talking to that guy, and I learn something new every time. Which do you like tuning better, LNF or LSJ? I have more experience with the LSJ, and I can do a standard setup on an LSJ a little quicker. But the one thing that the LNF has a big advantage over the LSJ is it has closed loop fuel control at all times. So as far as getting your fueling dialed in, it is way faster on an LNF. Is your goal to be able to squat your car? I don't think I'll ever be able to squat my car. What are your thoughts on the LE5? The LE5 is not a bad engine. If you can find the 06, 07s, they're decent. But one of the biggest problems with them is the throw of the crank, and being a cast crank. When you start making over a certain power level, you're going to break the reluctor off of the crank no matter what you do. Even if you weld them in place, it still flexes at the points where the reluctor attaches, and it just breaks and falls off. Every power wrecker that I'm aware of has either been done on a 2-liter or a 2.2 that's de-stroked to 2 liters. How much horsepower is the LSJ pushing? The highest that I've ever seen is the 898 that was done on our shop car several years ago. I mean, if you're referring to my personal car, I really don't know. The highest it made on the dyno was 560 something at 26 psi, and then that was the limit of where my tires would hold on the dyno. That same setup at the last half mile event, I was running over 40 pounds of boost, so somewhere just over 700, I would guess. Can you deadlift a car? I have deadlifted a car before using a car deadlift rack. It's an event they do in a lot of strongman competitions. You want to ride on an airplane? No, I don't want to ride on an airplane. I've made it to China and back, and I'm still every bit as scared of flying as I have ever been. What is the best way formula to pick out what size wastegate to run on a turbo swapped LSJ? Generally, you're going to run a bigger wastegate for something that needs to get rid of a lot more exhaust. So generally that would be a lower boost setup. The two main wastegates that we really see on these platforms are the 38 millimeter and the 44 to 46 millimeter. For something that's going to be running like in the low teens to mid teens, you might want to run the 46. Pretty much everything else can get away with running a single 38. And tell us about your fluid dynamics courses. In my adventures in college, for which I had 7 different majors and never got a degree, I did take a lot of fluid dynamics courses because I just really enjoyed them. And one of the things that really helped me with was getting a full grasp on the fuel systems and how all that worked together. It's not something that I can really simplify in this type of a video, But if you ever have a chance to even just grab some basic fluid dynamics textbook and skim over some things, you can probably catch some ideas that will really help you understand different aspects of the way your vehicle operates. What CrossFit gym do you work at? Dang it, Jason. I do not do CrossFit and I don't condone CrossFit. I train at Maximus Fitness. What's a good fire extinguisher to have in your ZZP powered car and mounting bracket for it? The best fire extinguisher you can have is any, because hardly anyone has one in their car, and I really don't understand why. As far as the rating of the fire extinguisher goes, an ABC would be plenty. But anything's better than nothing. The mounting bracket, I don't have a specific brand or type, just something that keeps it very secure but easily accessible. If this gets 1,000 likes, will you shave your beard? Absolutely not.